Man, it is hot. Oh, wow. Okay, this is what I like to see in a way. Hi, it's Kamon Reynolds. I got an interesting video for you today. So I'm going through some mating nukes. I dropped those queens I got from Corey Stevens. I've already been through one mating yard and had some good takes. Probably just a little below 80%. But considering we are in heavy robbing dearth time of the year, I will take it. I will definitely take it. One thing we're checking for is food as well in these nukes. So let's get into this one real quick. And I got to be careful. Last time I put my knee down into some poison ivy, I got a rash about the size of a softball on my leg. Now, whenever I see combs like this, when I open up a nuke after the queens come back and mated, I know I have a queen. Unless there's a really good flow going on or something, but I'm in a dearth. I mean, it's late July. If I have bees drawing comb, a queen has come back. So we're just going to pull this apart. We gave them one good frame of food, one frame of capped brood. We're just going to pull this on out right here. And you can see they're already capping some brood. Excellent. Oh, nice. I mean, so that's all we need to see right there. Now I need to come back with some combs and give them a little bit more space to grow. And a lot of these are destined to go into large honey production hives. So this is one of the biggest things beekeepers face, and some of them don't realize it, is you are going to lose queens. You are going to have not only queens just get lost entirely, but you are also going to have queens that just go downhill and they will take a colony to the grave because they just can't produce enough to build that colony up through fall, big enough clusters to survive your winter. And so you have to have a vigorous queen. It's important. So even if you have dead mites and you have good nutrition, if you have a poor queen, you're not going anywhere. So a lot of these are destined to actually go into big colonies, and what we'll do is we'll find the queen, get a push-in cage, and allow her to slow introduce into those bigger colonies, because when you don't have a flow going on, it's much more difficult to introduce a queen. We'll give them a little bit of feed, we'll introduce these bees, and we'll give them a nice boost in a new queen, and it just makes all the difference in the world. So I will put the lid back on this one in a second. I do like having my mating nukes in a yard that's a good ways away from my other bigger yards, especially during a dearth. It doesn't matter near as much in the prime part of April and May and early June when there's a flow going on. But once robbing starts, that pressure just really is rough. When it's hot like this, small colonies need ventilation, but it's robbing season. These popsicle sticks are perfect because robbing bees can't get in, but we still get a lot more ventilation. Man, it is hot. Man, it is hot. Oh, wow. Okay, this is what I like to see in a way. I got to be careful not to crush the queen. Oh, man, there's brood in that. There's totally a queen when you see a nice developed comb like that. You hate to ruin it. Probably should have had some combs in here because this is a great waste of energy. But I just didn't. We were in a big hurry. I was going on a trip and I barely got these made in time. What a mad rush that week was. We were just going to take this, and I didn't see the queen. A little bit of nectar coming out of there. That's good. We had a 3-inch rain yesterday, thank goodness. That has saved our bacon. And we're just going to, I've got to get some combs in here. When I get another dead out, well, not dead out, but one that did not take, I'll just slip it into here. This has got a good bunch of food. Oh, I think I saw her, yep. There she is. Right there. Looking for a cell. And you can see, nice. You can see where we put the cell right there. Nice location down by where the brood is. Keep that cell cool. Alright, queen slipped and went around the other side. Let's be careful not to crush her. Alright, so we're a little ways down the line now. My phone overheated and trying to get a move on. I've got a Jester nuke box, which is probably one of the cooler ones that the queen did not come back. And actually, I've got a little bit of drone brood that they're putting in this worker comb. So this isn't too far gone. Some of the cells, yes, are ruined, but some of them aren't. So what I've done is on this side, I just went through and took my hive tool, shook all the bees off, and then I raked those down and pushed them down a little bit. And most of those will still be worker cells. There will be some drones in here. It's not the end of the world. This can be an edge comb for more food and pollen, that kind of stuff. But I'm just going to take my hive tool, and as you can see, most of those are still worker size. And just careful not to get any bees, and just kind of push it down in there. You can push down a halfway decent ways, and it won't they'll fix the combs. It's not a big deal. I'm actually going to transfer this nuke right here into this Jester. You can see where I did one other comb. I don't know why they were already doing that, but they are. This one right here, I mean, I thought there was enough brood in there. I did give them nothing but capped brood, so they just went laying worker, I'm pretty sure, really fast. But look at that capped brood right there. Gorgeous looking colony. And I shook all the bees out. There was about 2 frames worth of bees in here. I just shook them out, and there's a bunch of bees flying around, and they're just going to work their way back into some of these hives, and some of them actually may be killed in the process of that, because if we were on a spring flow, chances are they'd all be accepted. We're not. We're in a dearth, so probably only some of them will be, and that's just the way it works in the bee world. Some people don't like that. That's how bees operate, and that's how beekeepers need to operate as well. So we're just going to carefully drop these down. And yes, I'm wearing gloves. I wanted to point that out because someone asked me the other day, Kamon, you never wear gloves. What's the secret? False. Kamon Reynolds does wear gloves. They are a tool like any other thing that we have. Queen excluders, smokers, all of those things, veils, bee suits, they have their uses. And when I'm doing this kind of work, especially when I'm holding the camera and I'm not really focused on what I'm doing, this glove is really handy. Wow, that was just a nice play on words there. So that looks really good though. We will put this hive back in its original location, and we are just going to make sure the queen's not down in this box, and then we will dump these bees right in front of the entrance, and they will just walk right in. And look at all those bees clustered. This is one of the biggest nukes here. Just a huge bit of bees on the front of this one. Very hot. Too hot. Crazy weather. Heat index over 100. I am going to jump in that creek here in a little bit. No question. I'm really pleased with these queens from Corey Stephen. I, as you can see, have a couple of them where I've doubled up the lid on that one to keep it cool. I have popsicle sticks on the smaller ones that are about 2 frames strong. Some of the heavier ones with a lot of bearding got a lid. And for the ones I didn't have a lid for, I just put a large stick underneath that's probably about not quite 1/4 of an inch. So that'll give a lot of upper ventilation, but you know, a colony like that one right there is going to be able to take care of itself. And we don't have any big colonies for a good ways away, so that helps tremendously. If we had a honey production yard close by, I'd be more concerned with robbing. You can see I have a box inverted. So 80% takes, and all the ones that didn't take, we're just going to leave the boxes here and help cool down some of the bigger ones that need as much cool down as possible. Heat index of 102 today, but we have 25 new queens in this yard, and across the board with these cells, I am seeing, if I'm not at 80% across the entire board, it's got to be upper 70s at least. I'll have to go into the last mating yard and see how we do, but I am fixing to jump in this creek. I don't care. I'm already soaked anyways, and this water's just a little bit cleaner. Laurel, help me. Look down in here, poison ivy. This is my Achilles heel. I mean to tell you, this stuff wears me out. So Laurel does almost all the weed eating. I do have the weed eater over with me today, but I think I'm going to let Laurel do it for me because, like any husband, I don't want to discriminate against women. You know, I'm not one of those old-fashioned types that won't let women do things and think that there's guys' work and there's women's work. So I'm going to allow my wife to celebrate how amazing of a woman she is by letting her weed eat these nukes so I don't get poison ivy. And I say all that tongue in cheek. I'm not trying to make any political statements here.